Bears fans, YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Bears Fans Talk. Johnny CMD here as always with the main event, Kevin Haggerty. If you're new here, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We've been gone for a couple of weeks. Truth be told, we actually tried to record an episode last week. Well, we did record it.
Yes.
It was very Trey Smith heavy. And then about 24 hours, maybe it was 48 hours, I won't lie.
Yeah.
He got franchise tagged, and all that entire episode was pretty much, worthless. And I also yelled at Kevin quite a bit, so I think he was happy with me.
I don't even know what you were yelling at me about.
It's because do you want to get into it again right off the top?
I mean,
you were trying to make the case. I think you were trying to make the case for picking Ashton Genty in the first round.
I mean,
which is I'm going to spare you this week, but it's a bad idea. But big news early in the offseason. We haven't even hit free agency yet.
Technically not till the 12th.
The Bears, in a 24-hour period, was it this week or was it last week? It was in the last couple of days.
This week.
Jonah Jackson. Oops. No, don't use. Oh, gosh. Don't use.
We alive?
I hope so. We're still rolling. Okay. Jonah Jackson from the Los Angeles Rams. I almost said the St. Louis Rams. And more importantly, Joe Thuney from the Chiefs. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, but just Kevin has been sitting here waxing philosophic about some of the drafts reports from this year and last year.
Yeah, so let me just give some background.
Sure.
So, during the waiver season, or during the fantasy football season, when waivers come around, when there's like that new hot name that you haven't really heard of before, and I'm like, who is this guy? I don't even know. What I like to do is I like to put their name in and do the draft profile next to it. So what the NFL does is after the combine's done, or maybe somewhere in between, they'll basically write like a little bio about them, this is what this person's bio is. These are all the metrics that they have, like the 40-yard dash time, all that stuff, and list out strengths, weaknesses, give them kind of a grade, projected starter. So I always like to go and compare.
And remind me really quickly, who's Ashton Genty's comp?
Oh, LaDainian Tomlinson.
I'm sold.
I'm just saying, guys, I don't know.
Anyway,
one of his weaknesses listed is he needs to take a little, I'm paraphrasing, he needs to take a little juice off to let the play develop. And
that's not what it said. That is that second part is the part that you seem to just want to gloss over.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, he's got juice.
Okay,
he's got juice.
Cool.
But anyways though, so I was just curious. I always like to go back and look. So I decided to look up our, whether we like it or not, we've discussed it on this podcast before. Jayden Daniels and Caleb Williams will be tied together for the rest of their careers.
Yes.
I think it could be like a Peyton Manning, Ryan Leaf situation.
Hopefully it's not that stark. Hall of Fame versus absolute bust.
But I'm just saying though, it's it feels like it's 1 and 2. It's going to be, they'll be forever tied.
Yeah.
And I think we've also established that Jayden Daniels won year 1.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. He made it to the NFC Championship game. You can't argue that.
But what it does do is I did like.
Did he get MVP votes? I wonder if he got any MVP votes.
I don't think it was. I think it was just a 2-man race.
Everyone knew it was. Well,
it was a 2-man race.
3-man race.
Who was the third guy?
Saquon.
Oh yeah, he won Offensive Player of the Year. So he deserved Offensive Player of the Year. He didn't deserve Most Valuable Player.
Yeah.
He was the best offensive player that year without question. But you could have done it with a different running back, kind of. You couldn't. You can't do what Josh Allen does, or the clear most valuable player to their team, and Josh Allen is clearly the most valuable player.
Yeah, I agree for the most part.
Yeah, that's a hard one to argue.
But anyway, so you want to start with Jayden Daniels, kind of pre-draft.
Sure. Yeah, let's talk about Jayden Daniels.
Kind of analysis.
Yeah. So I went in. So they ranked him. So they do this. This is all. I'm assuming they don't go back and edit these. I don't think they can.
Hope not.
I hope not. But anyway, so he got a 6.73 grade. Which is very good, and we'll talk about that later, what that represents. But I want to talk about some of his strengths that they have, and it's actually really interesting. So his strengths. So game is marked by command of the field and football intelligence. I think we saw that very clear.
Yeah.
Recognizes pre-snap pressures and has a plan to counter it without question. Gets everyone on the field on the same page when setting up protection. Full field reader with good rhythm through his progressions, willing to plant his flag and attack defenses from the pocket, maintains passing platform when sliding around the pocket, has made footwork as a passer a priority during his career. Anticipatory thrower with accuracy. And
did they say anything bad about him? Because
these are
going to get to Caleb's. Yeah. So
but what I'm saying though is like these are legitimate things. Like that I actually.
That's what we saw.
It's literally just spot on. So here's his weaknesses: slender frame, which will lead to durability concerns, without question.
Yeah.
But he came out.
He had the bruised ribs that we thought was going to hamper them in the Bears game. Didn't seem like it actually did.
But he just looks slender.
He looks like a tiny guy.
He looks kind of Bryce Young-esque.
Yeah.
Like very small.
He's got a small frame.
For sure. Some other stuff that they had was a lack zip that creates danger for him. Will drop his eyes, but really the only like bad weakness I thought was the slender frame. So like honestly though, a lot of great strengths I feel like for Jayden Daniels that like they clearly transitioned really well into the NFL.
Yeah.
As example, so as a reminder, his grade was a 6.73. Want to move over to Caleb Williams?
Sure.
His pre-draft grade, was a 6.74.
Okay, so just marginally above.
0.0 or 0.1. So like literally, it's like 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of his strengths.
Yeah.
So forced to keep his team in games with high-end production. And he did so. I don't know if that was if we saw that.
It doesn't feel like a strength. Well, yeah, no, like we didn't see that. There was not
fourth quarter.
There were maybe a couple. There were not any games that like Caleb Williams willed us to a victory.
Yeah.
Like just put the team on his back. Like
there weren't many victories.
The defense put up 40 and he'd have put up 45. There weren't any games like that.
Yeah, but that's what he did in college. Yeah. Here's another strength: better consistency projected with pro targets who separate. That's not a strength to me. That's a statement.
Well, here's the thinking. I think what they're saying there is he's a guy who can like nail someone who's open, like deep, medium, short range.
He didn't have a talent or he didn't have a cast around him. Yeah. But is that a strength? Is that the second strength you want listed for the number one pick? I'm just saying.
I see what you're saying.
Okay. Rapid fire transition from fake to throw on the RPOs without question. Twitchy release helps him generate heat on drive throws. Yeah. No question. Yeah. He has literally one of the strongest arms I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like
almost to the point where I wish he'd be like, sometimes it looks like he should take a little bit off the ball.
Yeah.
I think that's a weakness that we saw in real time. It's just like, hey, you need to like have different types of throws.
Yeah. Do you remember like Brett Favre used to do that sometimes?
Just always whip it.
Throw it, like he would get mad and he'd be down and just start whipping the ball.
I did recently like have a couple of like Brett Favre highlights randomly come across like my Instagram and just like he slung it. Like,
dude, like it was like he wanted to break people's fingers. And I feel like Caleb wants to do that sometimes. Like he'll just gun it, but that's for sure. Puts enough pace on the ball to challenge safeties to a variety of spots without question. Yeah. Will reset his pocket to create better throwing angles.
That is true, but I think it also kind of played into the biggest weakness that he had.
Correct. Let's talk about this. So touchdown to interception ratio of 46-1 in the red zone started since the 2022. Without question, we agree.
Caleb took care of the ball, but almost to the point where we're just like, we want to see you start taking some shots.
Agreed.
Like, because Caleb said, like, to go back to the strength that you said was just a statement. What Caleb was really good at, what they're saying is like, hey, you got an open guy, he's going to hit him. Whereas what we did, which that could be true, it wasn't super true. I think Caleb had some accuracy problems from time, but like Caleb wasn't a guy who was throwing people open. Like I think he was still trying to figure out what NFL Open was.
Okay, that's awesome because I just want to finish his strengths and transitions really well into his weaknesses. Keeps his eyes and arm alive when leaving the pocket. Debatable.
I think that was the criticism. That was the criticism of Justin Fields is when Justin Fields like dropped his eyes. Fine. He was not going to find somebody downfield. Caleb was always looking downfield. Fine. He was not looking to break big runs.
But it also led to some downfalls when he kept it alive too long.
Yeah.
His last talent his strength was a rare talent to feel pressure and escape and extend play,
which we did see from time to time.
Okay, let's get to the weaknesses because I really want to talk about his weaknesses. So he's averse.
To be perfectly honest, just before you get to the weaknesses, if you just read those to me back to back, like this time last year going into the draft, I would have said, I think I'd want Jayden Daniels.
Yeah,
I want the guy that they're saying is just like, who seems like he's got the intelligence and the footwork and can read the field.
Dude.
Over the guy who is just like a pure like talent, like a freak show. Hey, he's got like all the arm strength, he can make all the deep throws, and he like can keep the play alive. I think I would have just gone with I think it would like Jayden Daniels kind of felt more like broccoli versus Skittles.
Dude, it was. I think I agree 1,000,000%, and I think that like if you were to put a blind up side by side, player A, player B, who would you take? I think we
probably would have picked Jayden Daniels.
Dude,
that being said, I'm not saying I would.
This is a draft profile though. Who knows? But I'm just saying when you read those side by side, it's like Jayden Daniels sounds like he had a lot of tools.
Yeah,
and like he exhibited those, and then like in addition, like I felt like the thing that helped Caleb out so much was he won the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah,
and
so did Jayden.
Yeah, but the year before, and like everyone was like, "Oh, he's unanimous, the #1 pick." And once you get that label already, generational talent, it's hard. You don't really shake that label.
Yeah, despite like a very average follow-up season.
Yeah, his senior season or his junior season was super average, losing to Notre Dame on national television. Like it didn't matter though; it was hard for him to lose that. But yes, blind comparison, a lot better.
So what did the weaknesses say?
Yeah, so adverse to playing throw and catch football on schedule.
Yeah.
Yes. Here's where I really like it. Eyes can become sticky and sluggish working through progressions.
I'm not sure I necessarily saw that. Like I don't think that was necessarily the issue.
You don't think so?
No. I think the issue with Caleb was like I said, he wasn't going to throw a guy open. They had to look really open for him to make that throw. So he wasn't hitting his first progression because he just wasn't satisfied with the way it looked. So that he's kind of going through maybe too many progressions and trying to keep the play alive and waiting for these guys to run themselves open, which didn't happen. At least didn't happen often enough.
No, it did not. I think he struggled with.
And that. I think he's on. I think he had his Keenan Allen and DJ Moore are not like I'm going to run real fast and get guys open. They're possession receivers. Like
Keenan Moore for sure.
Yeah, Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. Sorry, I can't combine the names.
So those are two guys that like you got to put the ball in a place where they're going to catch it, and they will.
Yeah.
They're not guys that are going to be wide open all the time.
DJ, I felt like had a lot more separation. Like Keenan Allen was a route runner for sure. Yeah. Like that was his thing.
I mean, DJ's got some speed.
Yeah.
I think he can get open, but I don't think that's his like MO.
Yeah. Without question. So must learn to throw with better anticipation and timing in the NFL.
Absolutely.
You've been alluding to that multiple times.
Absolutely.
Ready? Hero ball mentality creates indecisiveness and inconsistent decision making.
Yeah.
He is a hero ball player. And there's not bad, right, wrong, or indifferent. It's true. It's a weakness that they're listing that I saw. Deep ball accuracy in a QB-friendly offense was not strong. Will throw on the move unnecessarily rather than platforming up.
But like I never felt that Caleb Williams' inaccuracies were because like he was running when he shouldn't have. In fact, like his accuracy was fine like on the run. Like I never saw that to be an issue.
Okay, and then passes up easy scramble yards for more challenging.
That can be true. I do think that I think in the later portions of the season he was just breaking some of these runs off a little bit more. And I think a lot of that was just like learning to slide and stuff like that, like in Hard Knocks.
How can we forget that episode?
Yeah.
I think it's
Hard Knocks, man. That was that was a lifetime ago.
I think that it's just interesting though, because like a lot of the strengths and weaknesses that they laid out, they're actually like very true after year one, which is great. But now that we recognize and we know that they're here, like let's correct them. Let's work on them. I hope Ben Johnson's like, hey, we know you're generational talent. We know what you're good at. We also know what you're not good at.
Yeah.
Let's improve where you're not like.
So I mean, but that's the thing is like Ben Johnson, like if you're a guy like Ben Johnson, you probably kind of want more of like the broccoli quarterback like Jared Goff. Like not a guy who's going to go out there and try and hero ball on you. A guy who's
runs
who's basically just going to run the offense. Like Jared Goff is a guy who's like, I need to go in and I need to make this work, the situation work. So I need to learn this offense really well and I got to like trust the coaches around me.
To be fair, Jared Goff was still a #1 overall pick as well.
Yeah, but like he never really played up to that.
No, he did not.
No, I mean he was not like and Jared Goff's played great, but I think he's probably benefited from Ben Johnson's system. He ran it really, really well.
Who's also in Sean McVay and he made it to the Super Bowl as well.
Exactly.
So I mean that's pretty like if the Bears make it to the Super Bowl, I'd consider it a very successful season.
But will Caleb Williams be that guy who can like adopt Ben Johnson's offense and Ben Johnson being like, you make this read and you throw it? Or you make this read, you get rid of the ball. Like, can Ben Johnson train Caleb Williams to be the guy who's got that ball out in 3 seconds like he needs to? So that's what we're waiting to be seen. Like that's on the wall. Like is Ben Johnson the guy who can take like a playmaking quarterback and make this fit in offense when that's not what he had previously. He had Jared Goff, who was probably a systems quarterback.
More of an
accurate guy who made the correct reads.
Yeah.
And that's not what Caleb Williams is right now. So put that on the wall. I'm going to put that, we're going to talk about my second thing, but that's my third thing.
Let's put it this way. If it doesn't work with Ben Johnson, who is it going to work with?
No one. Exactly.
And I'm saying Ben Johnson is the savior of all saviors, but he's the best head coach that
I'm not saying that it's a bad thing for Ben Johnson to have Ben Johnson.
If it doesn't work, who is it a knock on, Ben Johnson or Caleb?
I mean both, because Ben Johnson hadn't proved himself to be it. But here's what's going to happen. It's just maybe 2 years into this Ben Johnson experiment, we're going to draft another first-round quarterback. That's what's going to end up happening. That's what will happen. Ben Johnson be like, I didn't draft this guy. He's not working in my offense, and we're going to be back in that situation.
And then they're going to fire him the year after or in the same situation. Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine?
I mean, yes. Yes, I can imagine. This literally...
That'd be the fourth time.
That's why I can imagine it. That's exactly... So, that's something on the wall that we need to think about. But anyway, that's doom and gloom. But I think we need to be a little doom and gloom.
You can't
after the year that we had.
Can't not recognize it.
And as we've been staring at this Instagram post from Adam Schefter, which announced the trade. So first of all, let's get to the actual breaking news here. So Jonah Jackson, they got rid of a 6th round pick from this year's draft. Joe Thuney was only a 4th round pick in next year's draft.
See, I don't understand that, John, because I'm going to go through I looked him up. I'm going to do some cool stuff on him. I'll tell you, but I want to talk about that because a 6th round pick for next year's draft.
Before we move on to that, it's just fun. I've been staring at this. 2 of the 3 comments I could see say, Genty draft picking coming. They cleared the path for draft Ashton Genty. So
I'm telling you.
So obviously people agree with you, but you were all...
I'm telling you, it's happening.
Ridiculous.
No, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
So you're calling the shot right now.
100%. I called it last episode where you yelled at me. We're gonna have to when they get drafted. You're gonna have to post that one.
I will. I will hold on to that clip. If they post it, I will apologize to you and I will play that clip of me yelling at you. But it's not gonna happen. It's already locked. The Bears are going interior defensive or defensive end.
Do you remember why I said I wanted him?
Why?
The whole
DeAndre Swift, because you're saying Ben Johnson already dumped DeAndre Swift once.
Not only that, but if you can address the offensive line through free agency and through trades, why wouldn't they take a running back?
Because we still need the defensive line addressed. I guess it really depends how active the Bears are going to be on the free agent market.
Joey Bosa's just got cut.
That's true.
I'm just saying. We're
not even done on the offensive line.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not we have 2 new potential starters.
But the fact that we're being active and we're doing this is what we want to see.
Good. So tell us about Joe Thuney. You said you had some fun facts about Joe Thuney.
So Joe Thuney, by the way, so he was a All-American, which was absolutely amazing.
I felt this kind of came out of nowhere too. Also.
Yes and no. So he went to NC State. He graduated cum laude in just 3 years.
Okay.
At NC State.
So is cum laude? I mean, because that's not even summa cum laude, magna cum laude. I didn't even know they had a cum laude.
I don't know what it means, but that's pretty good.
Okay, sure.
In just 3 years.
Okay.
And then how about this little fact here? The NFL reporter Matt Verbeam, claims that when Thuney took the Wonderlook personality test, he avoided answering as many questions as he could so it would not come off too smart.
That's not what?
Why
would you? Okay, first of all, I didn't even know is the Wonderlook personality thing a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna take the Wonderlook test.
But it's not a personality test.
I think.
And why would you not want to be? And why would you not want to come off as smart?
Oh, personnel. I'm sorry. Personnel. Sorry, personnel test. Whatever. Point of the point. Anyways, that's just. He's just afraid to be too smart, whatever. Mm-hmm. Here's some other fun facts. So he got drafted by the Patriots in the 3rd round. His first year, or how many Super Bowls do you think he has?
So you phrased this to me. I didn't get the answer. I would have guessed. So he was with the Chiefs for, I think, all of theirs, which is 3, right? Patrick Mahomes has 3. Mm-hmm. And then I did see, as I was looking up these images, that he did play for the Patriots. So I would have guessed 4. But the way you're looking at me is that there's probably even more than that.
He has 4, but he has 2 with New England and 2 with KC.
Only 2 with KC.
Yes. 2 with KC.
So he must have missed one.
He missed the one, okay. Yeah. So he is here. So he won his rookie season and he won his 3rd season.
Wow.
He's also it says he's the first player to start in 3 straight Super Bowls in their first 3 years. I don't know if that's true or not for a rookie, but still pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. Just like honestly, just reading through it, like he just seems like an absolute unbelievable individual. Like so he played with Tom Brady for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Then he's played with Kansas City for 1, 2, 3, 4 years.
How many Pro Bowls has he made?
I don't have that. But
I heard on the radio say that he got Offensive Player of the Year votes this year.
I heard that too. Yeah. Here's what also, like 2016, 16 games. 2017, 16 games. 2018, 16 games. 2019, 16 games. 2020, 16 games. 2021, when they switched, 17 games. 2022, he missed 2 games. He only played 15. 23, 17 games. 24, 17 games. His snap percentage, 100%, 100%, 100%.
So he's missed 2 games in his career?
Yeah, 99%, 97, 99, 98, 97, 90, 97. What I'm saying, dude, is this is like the type of guy that you get.
No, 100%.
Why is it a 6th-round pick, though? For next year?
I don't know. So, I mean, I think...
was it a 4th round? I thought it was a 4th round pick.
4th round pick was for Jonah Jackson this year.
Are you sure?
Like the Schefter Post. The Bears now have agreed to trade a 2025 6th round pick to the Rams. Oh, so it's the 4th round pick next year.
4th round, yeah.
4th round pick
not
next year.
6th round.
Okay, so it's a 6th round pick this year for Jonah Jackson.
Yeah.
A 4th round pick next year for Joe Thuney.
It seems... So there's 2 things that are going to matter. It seems like both these guys... And I don't want to... Jonah Jackson seems like he's got some legit too. I think, could it be a salary cap dump thing?
Oh, 100%. Like, I think that's what it is. So,
so they're just leveraging?
Well, I was reading, Thuney doesn't have any more guaranteed money. So they're not taking any cap hit from getting rid of him. Or, I don't know, I guess with trading, I'm not sure how it works. But yeah, they just, trying
to clear cap?
Yeah, when they have a very expensive offensive line.
Yeah.
I think I read that their center is like the 1st or the 2nd highest paid center. And now that they've franchise tagged Trey Smith, granted they don't have to like sign him to a long-term deal, but for this coming year, he's the most expensive guard in the NFL.
Yeah.
Plus you got Patrick Mahomes. You've still got Travis Kelce. I think the Chiefs had to clear somewhere.
He seems like an unbelievable guy though. Like honestly.
Well, he's also, how old is he now?
I think he's 32. Yeah. 32.
So I mean, the one thing that we got.
He's younger than us.
I mean, he is younger than us. He is younger than us. But he is still 32. I think he's probably still got a good contract. I think he's in a contract year now, too. The Bears are probably going to re-sign him, I believe.
5-year, $80 million. He signed on the 21st, so he's at least got a...
In 2021, you mean?
In 21, yeah.
Oh, okay, so he's still got 2 years.
At least 2 years, yeah.
Okay. So we have some time to kind of see how he does this year, and then and then hopefully re-sign him. Maybe he's got one more good contract in him.
Yeah. I'm just fearful that it seems a little cheap, unless Nagy's doing us a favor.
What do you mean? Oh, it's cheap to get him?
Yeah.
I think they had to offload him. I think that's what it came down to.
But if I'm a legit contender, I would go get him too.
I think where the Chiefs' mind might be at, and maybe Patrick Mahomes is now coming back, being like, "Hey, you've been getting rid of Tyreek. Yeah. Like, who is Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball to?" And they've got like a guy they picked up off waivers.
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, and they got who's
Juju came back.
The running back.
Which running back? Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. Yeah, They got someone off waivers running the ball.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Maybe Patrick Mahomes is like. You're right. Maybe Patrick Mahomes is like, I need some fucking actual weapons.
Yeah.
Like, I get the ball out in 3 seconds. I don't need this expensive offensive line. I'm projecting, but maybe that's.
I'm projecting. I don't know. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Because I did. It looked like he had no time back there.
That is true. But the Eagles had an offense, like a absolutely outstanding defensive line.
Probably just one of the best defensive lines we've ever seen. It was amazing.
Yeah, 100%. So that's the thing to be wary of Joe Thuney, but
it sounds like he plays. So here's the other thing.
But he's a guy. He's like, I think you can make the argument that he is now the best player on the Bears roster. He's an All-Pro. What?
I'm trying to think.
I mean, in terms of like in their position, skill at the position, Jalen Johnson.
I was going to say
Jalen Johnson. Did Jalen Johnson? I don't think Jalen Johnson's all pro.
Jalen Johnson would have something to say just because he's got a loud mouth on him. But yeah, I think
4 Super Bowls.
That's pretty good, man.
I mean, like
how many Super Bowls?
A guy who's just been there before, an alpha in the room. The Bears didn't have like really anyone.
How many Super Bowls how many players have a Super Bowl ring on the Chicago Bears, do you think?
Oh, I don't know the answer to that question. Probably Joe Thuney, and that's it.
I was literally thinking out loud, like thinking in my head, I'm pretty sure 0. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm pretty sure it's just this dude.
I don't know.
So let's put it this way.
There could be some weird thing in there that we find out that our third string tackle was not a Patriot 6 years ago.
Of the core players, though, what I'm saying. Like,
oh, yeah. Like, of the starters, none, I'm sure.
And, like, even if he maybe is a little washed, I'm not saying he is, but, like, having that kind of presence and leadership, though, is, like, it's good to know how to get
this
there.
Locker room. It's like, a guy who does it the right way, who clearly conditions himself that he doesn't miss games, he doesn't get hurt. Like teaching that with an offensive line that was just like so battered.
Dude.
Like this is like this is an absolute win. Absolute win.
It's exactly
this is not what's going on the wall.
No,
and for those of you who are new here, the wall is what I'm putting on. These are the things that if we're sitting here and the Bears are ass, things that I'm calling right now. The first thing was 28-year-old offensive coordinator.
Oh yeah. Mike Ditka's cousin or something.
What did I just say? What did I just say the third thing was? God, what did I just say the third thing was?
You didn't tell us the third thing. You said we can go back to the second.
No, I said this will be the third thing on the wall. Whatever. You
I remember what it was.
You guys can rewind. I'll put it right here, whatever that was. Oh, you remember what it was?
Oh, no. I thought, wasn't it the 2 guard situation?
No, that's number 2.
Okay, that's number 2.
Number 2 is going to Jonah Jackson.
Okay.
Who we got.
Oh, is it drafting Ashton Genty? That's it on the wall?
No, because we haven't done it.
Oh, okay.
We haven't done it. There's something else. Oh, it's Ben Johnson. Is Caleb Williams the right fit for Ben Johnson?
Okay.
So that's the third thing on the wall is just like, can this make it? Can he make this work?
Yeah.
All right. Second thing on the wall is we got 2 predominantly left guards that we traded draft capital for over a 24-hour period.
Yeah, but okay.
And here's the thing about Jonah Jackson, and this article is kind of like very critical. I think, generally speaking, when I'm listening to the Chicago like beat writers, they think that this is the good addition, which I think ultimately it is. But the fact that they're both left guards, they're going to be asking this guy to switch the opposite side, which
they're pros.
Probably not that big of a deal.
Okay.
But additionally, this guy only played 4 games.
Yeah.
And he played predominantly at center, and he was bad at it before he got hurt.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Jonah Jackson. Jonah Jackson was drafted by the Detroit Lions.
Yes. So this is exactly why that he's on the Bears right now.
Yes.
It's because he played 2 seasons with Ben Johnson.
Okay.
Understands Ben Johnson's offense.
Yes.
So you can argue that this makes sense.
Okay.
I'm not going to dig in my heels and say this was a bad move.
Okay.
But I'm saying I have some concerns.
Let's just talk about the teams that both.
This is a hurt guy who is not cheap.
I will give you that, but just in general, let me just tell you, like, of Jonah Jackson and Joe Thuney. Joe Thuney played for the we've already established he played for the Patriots, won 2 Super Bowls, and played for the Kansas City and won 2 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. Jonah Jackson already played with Ben Johnson, watched the ascend of the Detroit Lions, and then went and played for the Rams.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are some of...
He didn't win a Super Bowl with the Rams.
No, he didn't.
He just played the 1 year with the Rams, right?
I'm just saying, though, but those are some of the best organizations in all of football. Name a better organization than those 4. The Eagles, fine.
The Niners. The Niners, absolutely.
They're in absolute disarray right now, and they're about to have to play Brock Purdy, and they're going to fall completely apart.
The Bills?
The house, fine. The Bills are good, fine.
Yeah. The Packers. I wouldn't say the Rams as being like a marquee, like
Sean McVay,
perennially great. Yeah,
Sean McVay has his own coaching tree now.
But he won 1 Super Bowl, and they've kind of been pretty mid since then.
Would you take Sean McVay as your head coach?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not saying that anything that comes out of the Rams is something I want to just inherently snatch up.
But it's not like we're getting him from the Atlanta Falcons.
That's true.
Or the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah. That's true.
Like these are great teams, great programs, if you will. I love it. I love what I'm seeing.
Okay.
And like left guard to right guard, come on, dude.
I feel like it matters.
No, it doesn't.
Like, I was listening to Tom Thayer on the radio was talking, and he said, no, it doesn't matter. You should be able to do this.
Yes.
And like, most players are expected to have some versatility, but
I think it's going to be okay.
And then it was Trey Smith who got franchise tag. We kind of touched on the Bears. Also, who did they just get from Miami? Tight end. Bears.
Oh yeah, I did hear some blocking dude.
Is that what his thing is? But he played with the Dolphins when Ben Johnson was their a tight ends coach or wide receivers coach, baby. So this is the guy that Ben Johnson knows. This is the equivalent of Gerald Everett.
I was literally going to say, is this like a thing that offensive coordinators do, or what offensive guys do? Like they need their tight end.
I think tight end like is one of the more like very specific to the system positions, because like how you use your tight end is probably very specific to like what type of offense you're trying to run. Do you need a Travis Kelce, or do you need a guy who's going to like be in there to run block and like who's like really good at protecting and like chip blocking and stuff like that? Like tight ends are probably one of the more versatile positions in the offensive line
for sure
in terms of what you're expected to do.
Tight ends,
and if you don't have a guy that fits your system, then they're probably just irrelevant.
I honestly don't understand why tight ends aren't like more important. Like there aren't higher value guys, because like they got to block and they got to catch the ball.
Yeah, but most of them probably can't do both well. Like,
but if you can do both well, is what I'm saying.
You're saying like most of them can't. Well, no, but I think most of them are just expected to do one thing well. Because would you rather be like? I think most people would prefer a master of one as opposed to a jack of all trades.
Do you remember? This was years ago in the Sean Payton offense for New Orleans when Jimmy Graham was he was actually getting franchise tagged, and he got franchise. Do you remember what his argument was?
What?
He's like, I'm not franchise tagged as a tight end. I should be franchise tagged as a wide receiver.
Oh, yeah, because he's probably not getting paid as much, yeah.
He was like millions and millions of dollars of a difference, but like technically Jimmy Graham was a tight end. But he's like...
Yeah, but Jimmy Graham, you were a tight end. You can't make the argument just because it suits you.
But was he a tight end or was he a pass-catching receiver who ran in out of the slot?
No, he was a tight end. Because I think it's very much something that is branded on you. Like, that is what you are.
Jimmy Graham...
And he wasn't coming off the slot.
Dude, that's
not what Jimmy Graham was doing.
Yeah, back in the Sean Payton days.
Okay, so some things that are still out there. I'll just go to. I'm gonna start by going with the Bears depth chart.
Wait, can I just tell you? In 2011, he had 99 catches for 1,300 yards and 11 touchdowns. I don't even know what to say to that, dog. In 2013, he had 86 catches for 16 touchdowns.
Too bad they couldn't do that for the Bears.
Oh, no, dude. No.
So we now have Joe Thuney on the left, Jonah Jackson on the right. We still have Braxton Jones, Darnell Wright, and Coleman Shelton.
Kevin Jenkins isn't off this team yet?
Not technically yet. It doesn't seem like it.
Get him out of here.
So Darnell Wright, I think that we still have some faith in.
Yes.
Braxton Jones, I actually looked up some PFF and did okay, but he did allow 5 sacks, which is 112th, and he had 7 penalties, which was a problem. Darnell Wright had some similar issues. He allowed 6 sacks, had 8 penalties. So I mean, but you know what? Like his grade, these grades aren't that bad. I think I was kind of expecting like these grades to be a little bit more egregious. But Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright both had pretty good grades. Coleman Shelton even, marked as kind of average, although he's like, overall 19th out of 64 centers.
It's not very good.
I mean, I'm not that impressed by that number.
I'm not either.
So that being said, I think the next obvious thing is I think we need a new center. And looking, there are, this is from ESPN. Drew Dahlman is a name that's kind of being attached to the Bears right now. Was there anything else out there? So I'm not sure if this gets addressed through the draft, which is why I'm really not on board with saying, like, hey, let's get Ashton Genty, because we still need a center. We might need another tackle. We still need an edge rusher, and we still need an interior. So there are just so many needs that need to be addressed. I agree. Joey Bosa might be. I would love to see the Bears, get one of these defensive ends, like trade for somebody. Does Bosa still have a lot left in the tank? I really don't know much about what he did last year.
He's hurt a lot.
Seems like, is that what it is? I'm kind of shocked because like Bosa is a guy that I feel like
you may be getting confused with Nick Bosa because you want Nick Bosa.
Oh, I am getting confused then.
Because Nick Bosa is the younger brother who's like a killer.
No, but Joey Bosa's good.
He was good.
He was. Oh, okay. Is he older than I'm thinking he is?
Joey Bosa he's good, but like he's 29. But like, yeah, he's been hurt. I think Nick Bosa is the better one. Nick is 27.
Okay.
Nick's definitely, he's a better looking one too. Like, without question. You should look him up. There's a clear, like...
Nick and Joey Bosa. I don't know which one is... 49ers interested in reuniting the Bosa brothers, as Mom weighs in.
She would like that
From
very
the New
much,
York
I'm
Post.
sure. Who do you think's the better looking one?
Joey.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Nick's kind of got more of a baby face.
Yeah, he's more marketable.
Dude, the longer... should we just go all in and talk about this for the next 10 minutes? Because we really just like... what about this one?
I mean, yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know I'm right.
Yeah, okay.
He's clearly the better looking.
Right. Weigh in on the comments.
Better looking brother for sure.
Who's the better looking Bosa brother?
But like, the thing though is that like I understand that, but I just think that like, I don't know. I think I don't want you to yell at me again because it's absolutely ridiculous. But like, Gentry could be a great fit for us and could really like help. Like, I don't want to waste and get offensive weapons, but if you can address all your needs through free agency and through trades, like the Bears looks like they're willing to do right now. They have the cap space. What are you gonna do? You're not gonna hang on to it.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, I think the Bears need to spend money. So, like, I like I said, Jonah Jackson is not particularly cheap, but yeah, spend the money while we still can.
That's what I'm saying. It's exactly what I'm saying, Johnny.
Chase Young being linked to the Bears, according to Pro Football Focus. Or they? I mean, not linked. I'm just saying that's what they think. Where's Chase Young coming from?
I think he got traded.
Chase Young is on the Saints.
Am I thinking of the same Chase Young, the guy who was drafted by Washington?
I do not know the answer to that question.
With season stats.
But he did not have he was 7th in pressures, 23rd in snap counts. How many sacks did he have? 7 sacks. Doesn't excite me. Is there really nothing else out there?
I mean,
or are they just not optimistic the Bears are going to land somebody?
I think it's still kind of early, to say the truth. What did you think about the Brandon Ayuk trade? Not Brandon Ayuk. I'm sorry.
I actually have that. Debo. I mean, they're another team that's just probably offloading so they can pay Brock. And
that's what I'm saying. When you said the Niners, I'm like, yeah, they're in complete disarray right now.
I don't think they're in disarray. The Niners had injuries. And
they have to completely dismantle the team.
They believe they got the guy in Brock Purdy.
I'm sure they do, but I'm just saying.
It's put up or shut up for Brock Purdy. Like, hey, we're giving you the keys, and like I think what the great quarterbacks need to prove that they can do is like, hey, find me a guy. I think probably if you're like a quarterback, you just want I want a guy who just like I'm on the same page with, who plays the way that clicks with me.
Sure.
Like I need a route runner, I need a speed demon, like whatever it is. So I think that's what you kind of hope for, and that's what you kind of see with these great quarterbacks. Like you kind of see a revolving door of these big name wide receivers, and then you bring them up through the draft, and you teach them to play the way you want to play. So I guess that's what they're hoping Brock Purdy will do. Debo was one of the injury concerns last year too, right? I mean, maybe they're just trying to get as much of that bad juju. How much longer does Chris McCaffrey do you think have on his contract?
CMC, I'm not sure, man. It's I think was Debo the one that held out?
I think it was Ayuk who was causing problems.
And then but like
I remember it being just I can't remember, like maybe Debo's stuff might have gotten overshadowed by Ayuk being an absolute like problem.
Yeah.
Taking his pants off in practice because he came out in the wrong color.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about that last year.
But it's just like it just feels, first of all, where he went to is like the scary part.
Yeah, the fact that he went to Washington.
Like people are saying he's washed and he's fat and this and that, like whatever you want to say, but like you're just like. I'm commending like Washington going out and making moves and going and getting helping this young quarterback out and like
I mean, Washington might be a team that feels like they're a player away.
That's what I'm saying, right? And like I, as an outsider looking in, I respect that move by them, and like I want to see the Bears be that kind of aggression too, and they are, and they're doing it, and they're addressing the needs that they need. Is the offensive line, yes, but like it's good to see. Here's
what I'm going to say right now. The Bears are not a player away. We are still 4 or 5 good players away.
Yes.
And we're still in the most difficult division in the NFL with a very difficult schedule projected ahead of us. Like the Bears could do everything right in the offseason.
And still get demolished.
And still like struggle to win games. We could still be a 6-win team. But hopefully we're sitting in a position where like we're building and like we're competing in all these games, and maybe it's just a situation where a couple things don't bounce our way.
Yeah.
But I think we have we got to build a locker room, we got to build a culture, and we need 4 or 5 really solid starters before we can talk about being a playoff team.
Things need to start bouncing our way, though.
Yeah,
it felt like a lot like it was the start of the end was the Hail Mary, right? Yeah. And like that kind of stuff can't happen anymore.
You know what I'm gonna do next week, Kevin? I'm gonna give you a homework assignment before we start wrapping up this episode. Is I want you to make a list of the 5 most memorable moments in your mind from this past season.
Most memorable?
The things when you're just looking back at the season, just remember just the moments that you remember the most, and we'll talk about those next week. I'm not asking you to do it right now.
I'm just
Kevin.
thinking, like just ranking in my head.
Think off the air.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not here to watch you think on camera.
Okay, John. Okay, you wanted to? I heard this too.
So you said this to me, right? Yeah, you said this. So the Chicago Sky, yeah, you did. The Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever are playing at the United Center.
Yeah.
What do you think one of those tickets goes for?
I don't know. But did you see the thing above it?
What? Oh, which one? Oh, the one I sent to you, the milk check from Devontae Adams.
Oh, you sent that one to me?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, so Devontae Adams saying whenever there's a white corner on them, they call milk check to the quarterback or something like that.
That was so funny.
That was like the most the first time I ever felt discriminated. Watching that video, I guess I should play it. This is the first time I felt discriminated against as a white person in my entire life.
I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, shit. Will it play, though?
Never get touched. No, like, it's impossible unless like literally they just start bringing in all white corners or something. Have y'all heard of the milk check? That's a real thing. You get out there, you got one. Milk check. You scream that to the quarterback. You let them know. First round.
And it's kind of funny. So they go on to talk about Cooper DeJean here.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they're trying to be cool and they think what he's saying is funny. But then they immediately divert the conversation to like, oh, we actually got this stud coming in.
And actually, yes.
Yeah. He's white safeties. That's a whole different thing, but there is not one
milkshake.
White corner.
Yeah.
Max Crosby, I wish he came here.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Oh, that's Max Crosby? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't recognize him.
Yeah. Shit in high school. He was like an All-American in high school.
I don't know who the other dude is.
Yeah.
Come on, can you show some of these
Angel Reese from the logo?
I've been sending you.
No, I love these videos. I just get. I really hope.
Ready? Kush.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see that there was a big Nike ad downtown for Kate?
Can you watch the other one too?
What other dude?
Just
which one? This one? This one right here?
Sure. Any of them are good.
Is this
to the basket? And Phantom has cut it to 2. Reese crossover spin.
It's just so bizarre to me. You know, here's the thing. Here, like, because I do a lot of shitting on Angel Reese. Like, her footwork isn't bad. She's got quick feet, and her handles aren't bad for how big she is. But she gets like 2 inches off the ground here. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How can you have such a non-existent vertical? I mean, Brittany Griner is like a monster, so like whatever.
Dirty. I just think it's funny. Yeah. I love sending you her.
Yeah.
Her stuff.
But there was I can't like. I only saw the Instagram reel of this, but apparently there is a big, like, a several story tall, like, Caitlin Clark Nike ad downtown.
In Chicago?
Yeah, in Chicago.
Really?
And I think Angel Reese tweeted about it, being, like, all pissy about it. But it's interesting. I'm going to look up how much one of these tickets costs real quick, so bear with me. When does the WNBA start?
Not soon enough, Johnny.
At Indiana Fever. Moved from, find tickets, June 7th. Not soon enough, John. Damn, they're wow. Are you kidding me with this?
How much?
$170 for 300 level. It's the cheapest seats there are.
It's because it's a secondary market.
I mean, they must be all sold out then, right? I mean, is there a primary market for seats anymore? I feel like everything just goes through, like, Vivid Seats. But yeah, it's crazy. It's more than a Bulls game. That doesn't feel right.
It feels a little aggressive.
Still though, man.
So
good for them. Yeah, 160.
My buddy,
nuts.
I have a friend of a friend who bought season tickets to the Chicago Fire, which I think they're called the Chicago FC Fire now or something.
Football club or something.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so they bought season tickets, and so immediately after they bought them, like the season tickets, they put up the game when Messi was coming to, Messi.
Yeah, Lionel Messi.
Yeah, when Miami was coming to play in Chicago, and he made like literally his season tickets from that one game alone. Yeah. Right, and then turns out when Messi came here, he was actually hurt and didn't even play.
God, that would suck.
But
Can you imagine if Caitlin Clark wasn't actually playing, and they sold out their? I mean, I don't know if they'll sell it out, but they went to the United Center and Caitlin Clark can't even play.
But I'm just telling you that story because, like, it's just from that standpoint of probably trying to capitalize on it while it's hot right now. I'm sure it'll come down. Yeah, because it's a good story. But yeah, that's absurd to pay that much money.
I don't know. I'd consider it. I don't know. But yeah, interesting. I mean, we're getting into the baseball starting up.
Baseball, man. Yeah.
The White Sox going to be the worst team. I mean, there might be some optimism about the Cubs. We need to look up another
crosstown
doubleheader.
Not crosstown.
Red line
doubleheader. Yeah.
And look into that for this year again. That was fun last year. All right. Well, if you're still watching at this banter at the end here, you're a real one.
Real one.
Please comment, subscribe if you're not. We're going to be putting out all the newest updates about the Bears, kind of like doing a deep dive. Always a couple of days late, but you know what? This is where you're getting like the good, like you can watch a 30-second Instagram and of watching some guy just kind of be obnoxious and stupid, or you can just listen to our articulate, stupid selves.
Passively listen to some two pops and pops talking.
I'll edit out that line just because that was a little embarrassing, but. Anyway, Kevin, you got anything before we...
No, man, I'm pumped.
Here, I've been mean to you. You want to do the hat throw today?
You haven't been mean to me. You were mean to me last week. All right. 1, 2. Oh.
That was rough.